Hi, fifth grade, and today we're moving on from the patterns onto creating our final pattern. First, you'll need to set up your sketchbook with 3 small rectangles or squares where we are going to begin combining all 3 different patterns into one final one. If you are wondering what patterns am I talking about, those are the ones you developed originally from your mind map. It was the 3 different patterns from the visible and invisible traits that you have from your identity map, okay? In my case, I had chosen the sun pattern, the shoe pattern, and the travel pattern. And I developed them to the point where I think the only one you can actually see clearly is probably the shoe pattern. But all 3 of those patterns you see in that small box come from those 3 symbols. Now we're going to put them all together in just one. All right? So let's try, because whoa, is this a lot of work. So first of all, I'm gonna pick which ones I want to start working with first, and I'm gonna pick that first square or rectangle in my sketchbook, and then slowly I will add the patterns. Chances are, as you are adding these patterns, they will be changing, because as you develop them further and further and you combine them together, you're probably going to want to make changes. So the first one I'm using in here is the travel one, which does not look anything like an airplane, but if you remember my airplane, this is what happens with my airplane. I changed it all. So I'm continuing developing that pattern, and I was adding the same elements that I had originally. And sometimes as you're going with things, you might find that something doesn't work very well. So I was going to continue working with my airplane pattern, the changed airplane pattern. And then I decided that I really wanted to add my sun pattern in between. So I started changing it. Changes imply that you're probably going to have to use your eraser several times. That is okay. So let's see what happens. Now I'm going to begin using my shoe pattern, and this is one I kept the closest and the most, that reflects more what it looks like a shoe looks like. But now I'm gonna start changing it. The other thing I want to remind you is that you are using paper. and it's a sketchbook, so you can move your sketchbook around, change it and adjust it, because I have found that when I was working on my shoe pattern, I needed to move my sketchbook around in order to create it the way I want it. So see, I just move it around, and that way I can more comfortably create the design I want. So this is going to happen 2 or 3 times until I come to something I like. The goal is to create a final pattern that we're probably going to be using on a background. So make sure that you are not stuck with one style. Keep on moving, keep on changing your pattern. Do it at least 3 times. That's a magic number for Miss Andrea. 3 times you try, change it, adjust it until you find a pattern that you absolutely like, using all 3 symbols, okay?